Hello everyone, this is Drummer357 here with a Let's Play of Katawa Shoujo. I tried to record this 3 times now, but the third time my recording got mapped up by my computer. So hopefully this one will go off without a hitch. So anyway, Katawa Shoujo. This playthrough is going to be a bit more different than my last ones. It's going to be more slower, more suitable, more calmer. Pretty much any visual novel games I'm going to do here is going to be more like this. So, and just to warn you guys, this has adult content on it, and I've got it switched on, so don't worry, I will have censoring. I will censor the adult content when it comes up as soon as possible. Anyway, enough about adult content and stuff. Let's shed some tears. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy, far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously, to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 PM. Ah yes, the note slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as clichés go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit more initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowfall slightly falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing the stagnant world. The slow descent upon the frozen forest, not freezing. Sorry guys, I might have a couple of mistakes now and then. Frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed into a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Hisao? You came? A hesitant, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. Iwanako, I've got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Damn it, I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result? Pathetic! Yes. I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle, even if I tried. My heart is pounding, as if it were trying to burst out my chest and claim this girl for itself. So, here we are, out in the cold. Once again the wind stirs up the branches, the cacophonous noise is music to my ears. Iwanako flinches ever so slightly against the Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock in mine, and she lazily twirls her long dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. You see, I wanted to know if you go out with me. I stand there, motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they're being stretched beyond the breaking point. Hisao? I reach up to try and massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arm. Hisao! Yeah, you're having a heart attack. My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Hisao! The beating in my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanako running towards me. All these fade to black. The last thing I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. Hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. And I'll probably not talk as much during these cutscenes, which are actually well animated, as the title. So yeah, let's watch. Well, that was a good animation. So, let's continue. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. Jeez, that must be a shit hospital. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts. So I had plenty of time to come to terms with with my situation. Arrhythmia. Jeez. A strange word, a foreign alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently I've had it for a long time. I said it was a miracle that I was able to go on for so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. Jesus. Depressed? Much. My parents, I think, were a bit... My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece, so his family had history of heart failure. So, that does make sense. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell the house in order to pay a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Isn't there, like, treatments for arrhythmia now? I mean, like, I don't know if there's a cure yet, but I mean, isn't there, like, treatments to help people with arrhythmia? I don't really know. I don't know if there's actually treatments for it. But, hey, if there is, cool. Of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from my treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and even cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts became trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realised that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Jesus. That's actually quite horrible. That's actually quite depressing. I mean, I've had that done before. I've had a class, my entire class send me a card just because it was a class project. I mean, like, Jesus. It hits you. It really hits you. I mean, like, it just, like, it's more like the person thinks, like, they're forced to do it instead of, like, volunteering to do it, so it just makes them feel worse. So, if you ever have a class project, be sure to go up to the hospital and send something that isn't part of the project, or even better, go up there before the project's even sent yet. Maybe some people were generally concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, my parents came by on a regular basis. Iwanaka was the last stop visiting. Ouch. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. Damn. Lost your girlfriend and lost your friends. The hospital is not really a place I like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them. But it makes me feel so uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I would be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest, so slowly changed its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of omen. I still asked the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough. Now that I'm disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point, I stopped watching TV. I don't know why. I just did. Maybe it was some kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital. Although it was more of like a storeroom of books, I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I love stories. That was my life. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. I felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass I was trapped inside, instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I paused in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp. A burning hot and heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Today the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited but not very. It's like he is trying to make an effort to be happy on behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There is a ritual that the head cardiologist has. He takes his time, sorting his papers, then setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks at me in the eyes for a moment. It's called bedside manner, Hisao. It's not that easy to figure out. Hello, Hisao. How are you today? I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. I believe that you can go home. I'm sorry, I have a bit of a cough. Yeah, I have a bit of a cough, sorry guys. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions you should be fine. We have all your medication sorted out. I'll give your father the prescriptions. The doctor handed a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hand and took a look for myself. Pardon me. Feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? The absurd, Jesus Christ, hallucinations, cold exterminates, abnormal vision, propulmonal, heart failure, phenolphonal, diarrhea, Jesus, hypophen, feminal, nightmares, Jesus, diarrhea, testupanol, Isohome. Jesus, this kid's gonna take a lot of drugs. The absurd long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. This is insane. Yes, it is. All these frickin' side effects, all these bloody drugs you have to take. Jesus. Side effects, adverse effects, contradictions in dosages are listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only makes me sick. All this for the rest of my life, every day. I'm afraid that Sorry guys, I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm afraid that it is the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Years? What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if I hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that it's best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please calm down, Nisao. Listen to what the hold on, that's his dad. Please calm down, Nisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down. The way he says it tells me that he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever my concern shows, it's ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. Oh, it's the doctor. Crap. At least not until we are sure that your medication is stable. So, I've spoken to your parents about the transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What? It's that it has a 24-hour nursing staff and is only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping the help nearby. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise it. It sounds kind of a jerk, ain't he? Yeah, he's kind of a jerk. Yeah, don't worry, you'll be dating one of them soon, Isao. If it was really that free, there would be a 24-hour nursing staff, and he wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks ago. I think you like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to your other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. I'm forgetting that it's the doctor, not the dad. You'll need a job one day, and this is a great opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamned opportunity. Jesus, Al, calm down. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school a while. It's not the same one. Well, it's not the same one. A special school, that's an insult. That is what I say. It's a step down. Yep, it sounds kind of a dick at the beginning, so prepare to... Yeah, he's kind of a dick. It's not what you think. All the students are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right. Many of the graduates of school had gone to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. The doctor's right about that. If you have a disability, you shouldn't be held back by it. It should be strengthen you. For example, I have a disability. I have autism. I'll just say that there and there. And you shouldn't be held back by it. You shouldn't be held back by it. I see. Before YouTube, I didn't have confidence, and since it was part of my disability, and over the years, I sort of like gained confidence over. Jesus, sorry guys, sorry I had to hear that. I gained confidence over YouTube over time, and it sort of helped me with that. So if you have a disability, you shouldn't be held back by it. I've known people who freaking do sites, or create websites, or actually, fun fact: the creator of Pokemon was autistic. So yeah, a person should be held back by a disability at all. So I'm glad that this game touches that, and it touches it more during the game. Since I'm not gonna spoil it, but you'll pretty much be amazed by things that this game touches. So let's continue. One of my colleagues is in another hospital as a graduate. I don't care. A person does have to be held back by a disability. That's what a disability is. Yeah, Hisel's kind of a dick, but I don't blame him. But since he had it's all his friends freaking gone, his girlfriend freaking gone, so he's pretty much depressed, I think, and yeah, he's pretty much depressed at the moment. I really hate that something so important was decided for me, but what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. What does define normal? Seriously though, what does a person define normal? I don't really get that. Like, people say I have a normal life, but what do you define normal? Is a matter of opinion. It's funny. I'd always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now. Something about how I can go back to school anyway. But no. I don't say anything. The fact is that I know it's not now, it's futile. I look around the room, feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, the doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this. But the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. Nah, it's not bad at all. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it is a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to resign myself to thinking that. Yeah, go on, live life. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will be like. A lot of reading today. Act 1, Life Expectancy. I like these little chapter things as well, like these new little acts things. So I'm guessing it'll be a 3-act thing. Well, I think that'll be enough for today. I hope you guys like this Let's Play so far. If you want to see more, just put in the description below. And also, I'll be doing something very special for my Halloween special tomorrow. Hope to see you all there. John Moore 357, signing out. See you later, guys.